Welcome back to What's Your Hustle podcast, the place where ambition meets execution. If you're new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because this channel is all about real stories, real lessons, and real hustles.
You know, everyone loves to say the internet is this wide-open playground for creativity. But lately, I can't help but feel like I'm just dancing for an algorithm, like I'm making art. But really, I'm just auditioning for a robot judge.
It's funny you mention that feeling because from a tech side, the algorithm isn't out to get anyone. It's more like a giant mirror. It shows us exactly what people as a group are already clicking on, sharing, and reacting to. It's not deciding culture so much as reflecting it back at scale.
Still, it feels less like a mirror and more like a filter, you know? Sure, people drive the clicks, but if the algorithm doesn't like your stuff, it might as well not exist.
I get why it feels that way. But honestly, the system isn't plotting against anyone. It just follows the signals like how long people watch or what they engage with. It adapts to what works, and yeah, sometimes that's a harsh rulebook for creators.
So if algorithms just respond to numbers, where does that leave creators? I mean, a lot of us end up making choices just for the sake of reach or survival. It's like, if you don't play by the algorithm's rules, your work gets buried.
That's a tough spot, for sure. But I'd argue it's always been that way with creative mediums. Radio had time slots, TV had producers. Now, algorithms are the new gatekeepers. Every era sets its own boundaries. Maybe we just notice it more because it's invisible now.
But this is the first time creativity gets judged in real time by a system that couldn't care less about meaning, just attention. It changes what we make and why we make it. Suddenly, it's not, is this meaningful? But will this perform?
Well, I see what you're saying, but couldn't these constraints force creators to sharpen their message? If your work can't hold someone's attention, maybe there's a clarity issue.
That's one way to look at it. But the truth is, algorithms are trained on massive piles of human data, and that data isn't neutral. If your story, your accent, or your background doesn't match the mainstream, you're labeled as niche, not because you're small, but because the system can't recognize you.
There's definitely bias, but it's not really the machine's fault. The algorithm just learns from the data we give it. So if we change what goes in, maybe we change what comes out.
But most creators have zero say in what data gets fed in. We just feel the aftershock, sudden drops in reach, shadow bans, silence with no explanation. If a person did that, we'd call it censorship.
That reminds me, if we're being really honest, the real competition isn't over creativity, it's over attention. Algorithms don't reward art, they reward anything that keeps people glued to their screens. The creators who get that, they're the ones who win.
But win what, exactly? More views? If everything is tuned for maximum engagement, outrage and shock will always beat nuance or sincerity. Over time, we risk turning ourselves into caricatures just to keep up.
Or maybe it pushes storytellers to master pacing, to really understand how to hook and keep an audience, just like great directors do in film. Still, I see how that pressure can get overwhelming.
Honestly, it's not just about technique. For a lot of creators, our sense of worth gets tangled up in metrics. One bad week, and you're questioning your whole identity. It's like your mood is chained to the algorithm's whim.
Feeling that way is real, but maybe it means creators need better boundaries. Blaming the algorithm for burnout is a bit like blaming the ocean for getting wet. You have to learn how to swim, or set limits, or you get pulled under.
But nobody teaches us how to swim in this ocean. We're told to hustle, to keep posting, to ride the trends, never to take care of our mental health. That's a huge hole in the advice creators get.
So, can I ask, without algorithms, how would new voices ever get discovered at scale? Isn't this system what lets anyone, anywhere go viral instead of just the chosen few?
There's truth to that. Algorithms did open doors that used to be locked, but they also built narrow hallways. Now everyone's running down the same path, the same format, the same hooks, the same trends. We traded old gatekeepers for a new kind of sameness.
So what's the fix? Are you imagining chaos, no filtering, no order, just endless streams? That would just benefit those with huge followings already.
Not chaos, just honesty. The future I want is one where algorithms are transparent. Tell us the rules. Explain the changes. Stop pretending the system is neutral while it quietly shapes culture.
But if you make everything transparent, platforms lose their leverage. Their whole business is built on that secret sauce.
And that's the core of it. The real debate isn't creators versus algorithms, it's creators versus platforms that profit from keeping us in the dark.
I don't see algorithms as evil. They're just tools, and how we use them shapes the outcome.
But tools reshape the hands that use them. If creators end up losing their real voices, we'll get an efficient culture, but maybe one that feels hollow.
And if creators ignore the system entirely, their messages risk disappearing altogether.
So the big question isn't who wins the fight, it's whether the future of creativity is meaningful or just performative noise.
The algorithm decides what spreads.
Creators decide what matters.
Thank you for watching What's Your Hustle podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, keep hustling.